Admiral Ozzel is clumsy, stupid, and not in the game. You are the leader now, Piet.
Greetings and hello there, everyone. It's me, your Star Wars Dad Nooch, too good, here to have a little bit of fun today. You know, you hit these parts of your life where you kind of realize what you're doing and what you've been doing and become more conscious. And I'm becoming more conscious that while providing a lot of useful information for early and mid gamers and in Star Wars Galaxy Heroes, I'm providing fun for all of you. Everybody can watch this and have fun, I hope. Maybe not. If you don't have fun, not my problem. Okay, we're going to look at the 10 and more. I put 10 plus. I couldn't do top 10. I didn't even add them up. I don't know how many this is. We're gonna look at the worst leader abilities in the game. Most of these are from the early game characters. We're just gonna go bottom through top through my lineup. We sort by leader and we scroll all the way down to the bottom. I just want to look at the worst leader abilities and talk about how awful these really are and how much you would never actually use them in the game. What I'd like to hear from you guys in comments, let me know of these that I review, which one you actually think is the worst. I've got mine already in my head. But maybe there's one that I missed. Maybe there's a really complex leader ability on, I don't know, one of the Inquisitors that I didn't, whatever. These are mostly simple ones that I've known for a long time are really bad. Let's start with Kit Fisto. Kit Fisto's leader ability, if we max it out, baby, if we max it out, all allies gain 25% tenacity and Jedi allies gain 45 defense. Yeah! Suck on that, man. That is great. Look at that. Tenacity, defense. Who doesn't want that stuff? Who does not want that? Oh, Eth Koth. Eth Koth is a classic. He's a stalwart Jedi defender. Jedi allies gain 60 defense. Step off, brother. Step. I guess this didn't really help him when Sidious was running him through with a lightsaber. That's not enough defense to stop Sidious. Let's go on here. I kind of like T-Bows, actually. I'll pull up T-Bows, but I think there's still a spot for this. And back in the day, there was definitely a spot for it, but allies have a 55% chance to gain stealth for one turn at the beginning of their turns, which is pretty cool. So half the time they're going to stealth everybody, and a 50% chance to gain 25% turn meters. So I don't know. That's that one I thought about, but I'm not included. That's not in the worst. I kind of like T-Bow's leader ability. Luminara, they actually reworked her for Omicron, so I'm not going to touch that one. But I'm a Gundai. He's a Gundai. All allies gain 30 defense. What's with all the defense, man? I mean, 30 defense. I mean, that's meaningless. 30 defense is nothing. And Jedi allies gain 35% counter chance and 25% counter damage. Oh, doctor. They're going to counter a third of the time and gain a little bit of damage. Now, what they did with the defense was they maxed it out with General Kenobi. There was a meta in the game with General Kenobi where he actually doubles everybody's defense. They get 100% defense. So, so they built that up to General Kenobi eventually being leader. And there was a meta with him and Nihilus, and there we just kind of held off the opponent until Nihilus just annihilated them. So, I'm going to talk about Rolo here. Now, people might argue with this one, I guess. I see her on defense all the time. I have yet to struggle against a Rolo, but Rebel allies, there it is again, 20% tenacity, yeehaw, and 20% critical chance, yeehaw. Whenever a Rebel ally takes damage, they have a 50% chance to gain Foresight. I might just have them gain Foresight. The first time each turn a Rebel ally resists a detrimental effect, they gain 30% turn meter. Now, it looks kind of cool. It does nothing. It actually does nothing in battle. And I literally, pretty much any team that's Relic on my roster can beat a Rebel Officer Leia Organa team. We'll see if General Leia changes that. But, hey, let's look at Jyn Erso here. Rebel allies have plus 35% potency. Now, that's a little nicer than tenacity, I think. Enemies, although you put tenacity on an Emphas Nest, I get it. Enemies that suffer debuffs during Rebel allies' turns have a 50% chance to also become exposed for 2 turns. Now, this is kind of cool, actually. You put Cassian into this team, he rolls a bunch of debuffs out there, he gets like 5 exposes. When it first came out, it was really cool, and it's still kind of fun. It just doesn't really stick, hasn't really been impactful over time, doesn't really last. Hey, Greedo. Every bounty hunter has a leader ability. His is that Scoundrel allies gain 50% critical damage, and then they get their contract, which is they damage an enemy with less than 50% turn meter, which is a little weird, 10 times with a basic. and they all gain another 50, so they gain 100% critical damage. The problem is that Boba Fett already gives me 35% critical damage, but he also gets me some extra speed and some other stuff, so why bother? I don't think I've ever seen anybody use Greedo in the leader capacity. Clone Wars Chewie! Clone Wars Chewie is very, very special indeed. All allies have plus. I loved it early in the game. It wasn't like a percent defense increase, 50 defense. I don't know. And a 50% chance to gain defense up. So, wow. You have a 50% chance to gain defense up for 3 turns whenever you're damaged. That's amazing. Put him in there right now. Make him your leader. And I'm sure somebody's got something out there to show me where he worked and got them defense up in Conquest. That's great. Congratulations. You can enjoy that. I'm good. I'm good. Poe. Resistance allies gain 30% offense and 15% potency. I'm telling you, baby. Watch out for those resistance when Poe's in charge. Now, early in the game, there actually was a reason to put him in charge. But yeah, nah. These are all early game. These are all from the early game for the most part. Hey, how about our buddy Plo Koon here? Did I say Plo Koon earlier when I meant, hang on a second. I don't know what I said earlier. Each ally has a 55% chance to remove stealth from each enemy at the start of their turn. Wow. If they dispel any enemies, they gain offense up. So, you're going to use this only against a team that's stealthing. I guess this was like an anti-Dooku thing. I don't know. That's really specific. That's really, really super duper specific leader ability there. You guys know that I actually use Luke Skywalker Farm Boy because he's giving us 50% tenacity or 45% tenacity. I'm not gonna put the Zeta on there, so I actually use that with Enfys Nester sometimes. Hey, Princess Leia, Rebel allies gain 20% critical chance. Can't they upgrade these a little bit? Like, give me something that might be useful. Gar Saxon. When was the last time you saw a Gar Saxon lead? Let me know. Empire allies gain 50% counter chance and 40% defense. What the fuck? At least we got a percent defense there. At least we got a percent. This isn't like the worst thing, but then you got to put the Zeta on, and that means whenever they use a basic, they recover 5% health. Well, if their protection's all gone, they'll be getting that health back, boys and girls. Gar Saxon, big Empire Mandalorian. He doesn't even have a Mandalorian leader ability there. Let's keep going here. I've actually seen some used for Akbar, Stormtrooper Han. Not going to put those guys in there. Barriss Offee, she ends up leading sometimes a Star Killer team. Poggle! And you guys know this because if you play Geo territory battles, he is the leader on that Geo team in the top Sector 1 territory. So, Separatist allies have plus 30% offense. Droid allies recover... If you are putting... Now, maybe in 3v3... Droid allies recover 10% health whenever they attack on a turn or damage a target-locked enemy. Oh, Doctor. Watch out for this, baby. Droid allies recovering health. Now, they're not going to get their protection back, but can't they just... I mean, really, can you not... We've had protection for 6.5, 7 years now. Can you not just go do some upgrades on these things? I mean, 3v3, that might actually... I don't know, whatever. Hey, the Jawas are here. These are not good leader abilities, folks. I don't even care that we're using them for the Crate Dragon Raid. Whenever an ally damages a droid, they have an 80% chance to inflict defense down for 3 turns and a 25% chance to remove 25% turn meter. Yeah, I guess initially they thought the Jawas were going to be like this droid counter. Nah, not so much. In fact, by the time they reworked the Jawas to throw a bunch of thermal detonators out there whenever they took damage, there were no droid teams out there to attack other than the Grievous. So yeah, that just wasn't the deal. And leader ability for Chief Nebit. This isn't great either, by the way. Java and droid allies gain 30% critical chance and inflict critical chance down for 3 turns on a critical hit. Only place they're being used right now is Crate Dragon. If you have them relicked, which is less than probably a quarter of 1%. You can put them on a raid team, you can do some fun things with them, but yeah, not that many people. They got a Territory Wars thing in here. That's great. I'm just going on their basic leader abilities. You want to spend an Omicron on Chief Nebit? Congratulations. How about HK? Back in the day, there was a time when droid allies having 30% critical chance, 20% critical damage, and gaining turn meter on critical hit was the meta for 4 to 6 months. It was a team, believe it or not, it was HK, IG-86, IG-88, Maybe had R2 in there too. And I don't know, somebody tell me the 5th member of that team, and maybe I got IG-88 wrong too, but there was a time in the game, believe it or not, when this leader ability actually meant something. Now, it means nothing. It means nada. Now we're gonna go to one, this is gonna get it reworked here, we know. Actually, I don't know. I don't know what's gonna, but Lobot's getting a rework. Is his leader ability being reworked? Let's hope so. Let's hope so. Droid allies gain 25 speed and 10. A lot of droid stuff out here. You know, if you even look at, like, if you go back to Eth Koth's kit, there's some droid stuff in there too. Droid allies gain 25 speed and 10% potency. Is he, wait, is he even a droid? Is he even, somebody asked this the other day. Is he's not even a droid. So he doesn't get any of that. He's a leader that doesn't benefit from his own ability. How about Cody? Cody, baby. Cody, now, there was a time, I've said it a few times, where this ability actually mattered in Tier 4, the HAAT raid. No longer. It's been quite some time, actually, but call all, is that the leader? That's a special, sorry. Here's the leader ability. Clone allies gain 25% critical chance, which is the critical chance and defense and potency, tenacity, and droid stuff. That's what all these early leader abilities are about. And other allies gain half that amount. Oh, thank you. Thank you for half the critical chance amount. Cody gains 50% defense. At least there's a percentage defense for each living clone ally, and other clone allies gain half that amount. Now, that thing seems cool because he's probably going to gain 200% defense. He has no health and protection, and that's a real problem. And the Zeta was that they would recover 5% of their max protection whenever they used a basic. So whenever they were assisting, this again was for Tier 4, the HAT. Did I say that already? I said that for somebody. Yeah, Tier 4 HAT for that. Where are we going? Asajj has kind of faded over time, but I still see her sometimes. You know, Daka, her ability does not really get used for Night Sisters at all because it gives 50% health and 50% defense. Now, that can be nice for Daka herself, but when you lose all the other Night Sister stuff with it, it doesn't make any sense to use this at all. I'm still saving up for my favorite, by the way, that I think is the actual worst in the game. Keep scrolling, keep scrolling. No, these are all fairly good. Oh, here we go. Grandmaster Yoda. This came out. Oh, man, I remember when this came out. And a Zeta came out. And it was like, oh, put the Zeta on Grandmaster Yoda. It'll make him awesome. Not so much. So, I think right after they did that, Jedi Knight Revan came out and just put it all to poo. So, Jedi allies have 25% tenacity. There it is again. And whenever a Jedi ally resists a debuff, they gain 25% turn meter. There's a big problem with this being baked in, but gain a little more tenacity, more turn meter, and critical chance up, critical damage up. Whenever they suffer a debuff, they gain tenacity up for 1 turn at the end of the turn. The problem with this is that Yoda is already giving everybody tenacity up with this ability. So they're already getting a bunch of tenacity up for 2 turns. Or is it foresight for 2 turns? I can't remember. I think they get them both for 2 turns. And he's already granting everybody so he's already getting buffs and getting under everybody else. So this leader ability, which is gonna, here, and then the Zeta gives him some, he's already doing all this stuff. This stuff is already baked into his kit. He doesn't need a leader ability that does the same thing, except the extra turn meter whenever they resist, but nah, it doesn't, nobody ever uses it. Nobody ever uses it. Here's that, I'll show you that General Kenobi I'm talking about. This is the first one, 70% defense and 30% max health. So yeah, this was a big deal back in the day. It actually, with Nihilus, I think Fives was in there. Thrawn was on that team to fracture people. Yeah, that was an early meta. It was early, long-lasting meta in the game too. No to any of these. Hey, let's take a look at Lando. Now, this is another one that had some use early in the game because Lando, 15 speed, 29% critical damage. Before we really had a bunch of fast characters, this ability Double Down it stacks. So it was I think it was maybe the first stacking ability, and he would deal 100% more damage on its next use. So you just keep adding damage, and if you had him here with critical damage and speed, well, early on, you'd just have Lando, and he would eliminate entire teams. But that's been a long time since that was useful. Director credit, nobody uses this. Nobody uses this. I guess if you want to go get his Omicrons and Zetas and stuff, whatever, dude. Empire allies, here it is again. 25% critical chance and 25% potency. We love that stuff. Debuffed enemies are critically hit, suffer ability block for 1 turn. That's kind of interesting. The Zeta can't be resisted. They recover 10% protection. I mean, it seems okay, but with all the other Empire leads in there, Lord Vader, Darth Vader, Palpatine, Thrawn, it just doesn't fit. It just doesn't fit. Darth Sidious. Now, the only time this ever comes into effect is the Tier 1 of the Sith Eternal Emperor going to get his event, and he's leading himself. So 50% critical chance, 30% critical damage, gaining 2% offense, but there's no other time that you're going to use this for any Sith. Again, Palpatine, Vader, Traya, Darth Revan, Darth Maul. There's a gazillion other Sith leadership abilities out there. This is like at the bottom of the list for Sith leader abilities. Let's see what else we got here. Qui-Gon we love. Rex, Mace. Okay, these are all okay here. Let's get to the one that I think. Oh wait, well, I'm sorry. Isla Secura. I almost missed that. Isla, 40% tenacity and recover 10% of their max health when they resist an effect. Oh, Doctor, can we up? I mean, just really, can we get something to upgrades? Maybe make it a little more interesting. I don't know. We don't really need her as a leader though, I guess. So it's made just extra. It'd be extra effort and work on the developer's part to give upgrade an old leader ability that'll never be used anyway. Hey. I think this is the worst leader ability in the game. You may be looking at it and think I skipped it. I didn't. Let me know in the comments, what do you think is the worst of the ones I reviewed, or have I missed any? Did I miss, like I said, is there an Inquisitor? They've all got leader abilities. Is there all the bounty hunters all have leader abilities? Am I missing something in those that's really awful and I just didn't take the time to look at it? This is the last one. This is one I think this is the worst in the game, and I think mainly because it's on such an important character. Ahsoka goes on your Jedi Master Kenobi team. Ahsoka goes on your Padme team. Ahsoka Starfighters and the Negotiator. She's just a really important character all the way through the end game. Her leader ability is Jedi and Night Sister allies. Night Sister allies have 14% evasion and gain 20% turn meter whenever they evade. Night Sister allies. I don't know. Am I missing something? Let me know if I missed something in Clone Wars. I think she went to Dathomir once, maybe twice. And by the way, speaking of Night Sisters, I missed one in here. Talia. And I think the Ahsoka one is just the worst. For where she sits in the game, to have that as her leadership ability, just useless. Night Sister allies getting evasion, other allies getting half that amount. When an ally evades, they have a 50% chance to recover 5% of their max health. So, hey, there you go, boys and girls. There are all the worst leader. It's probably more like 20, actually, when you get down to it. But these are the worst leader abilities in the game. Let me know what you think. I think Ahsoka's is the worst, just because of she's such an important character in the game, and this is just poo. And not that you would use her. Not, again, if you're not gonna upgrade to something usable, don't upgrade it. Don't bother. But let me know if I missed any. What are your favorites? What do you think is the actual worst leader ability in the game? Have a great day. I'll talk to you soon. Always remember, Nooch too good.